Can't believe you didn't visit Cornell. Cornell has them all beat. What do you think of Cornell? Cornell has beautiful gorges. Any chance you're gonna make a video for Cornell? Alright, I hear y'all. I made the 6-hour trek up north from DC to Ithaca, New York. So I've hit all 6 on 95. Now here's my 7th. Welcome to the biggest Ivy League school. And welcome to Cornell. Now currently I'm standing kind of on the bottom center of campus, but I didn't actually start today here. This is where I am starting today. Would you believe I am only a 15-minute walk from campus right now? This is kind of insane. These waterfalls right here are called the Ithaca Falls. Well, I think this is the perfect backdrop to explain Cornell's unique location. It is in Ithaca, New York, which is like a proper city, but it is in the middle of upstate New York, kind of just near nothing. I noticed this on the drive up here. I kind of forgot how hilly and how pretty the middle of Pennsylvania and New York actually are. And as a result, it has some pretty cool nature surrounding it. It's not like your Penn, Columbia, Brown that are right next to big US cities. And honestly, I kind of dig that. But more on Ithaca later. Alright, I'm in what kind of seems to be a central area, although I don't think it is the center of campus. The Student Union building back there, which I'll try to pop into. The Cornell bookstore. This is kind of a crazy Student Union entrance with all these paintings and stuff. I feel like I'm walking into the church. I don't know where I wanted to, but they're using like a very old building as the Student Union. If you didn't know, Cornell's mascot, even though their logo is a bear, is actually Big Red. So go Big Red. A group of students just walked by me and they were like fully heavy in debate and like laughing about micro robotics, which is like so Ivy League. Now the clock tower being on a renovation is the saddest thing of this tour so far. I had a friend, a girl that I worked with, who went to Cornell, and on her desk every day was a little miniature version of this clock tower. And every day I saw it and I was like, I'm gonna make it there one day and I'm gonna send you a picture of the clock tower. But now it looks like this. And it's supposed to be really pretty and like overlook this whole pathway, but I mean, it still does. And I'm sure it'll be done before the school year starts, but that's annoying. Well, I am right next to the chapel still. And you have this whole freaking overlook of the hilly nature that surrounds Cornell. And I think this is the perfect place to explain just how much of a hill Cornell is on. Even doing the 5-minute drive from where I was staying in downtown Cornell up to campus, it was just uphill the entire way. That would be an insane walk to do every day. Because yeah, as you can see, this whole campus is on a slope. This whole area, like this whole grass field under there, is called the Live Slope. And when I was like 10 minutes from campus, when I was coming back from that breakfast place, which good transition to. All right, we interrupt this campus tour for another esteemed Shiv food review. Today we're reviewing the breakfast sandwich from Dulce Delight, which was like almost a 10-minute drive from campus. But my friend who went here, she recommended it and put like 10 exclamation marks behind it, so we're gonna try it. The unique thing is the bagel was called a French toast bagel, which I've never had before, I've never seen before, so we're gonna try it. Whoa, that's weird. That's weird. I don't know if y'all can see it, but like the bagel it's like French toast, but it's still a bagel. I don't really know, but this is unique. This is cool. This is really good. I got this really cool view of campus, which like super high up from down there now. So yeah, this is like the very west end of campus basically. You have this whole field area and then you have a little like village area with a bunch of different, a little funky looking, at least on the map, residence halls all on top of one another. And my guess would be that's where underclassmen stay. And then they have to walk up this hill to get to class and stuff. So there's one library right there called Olin, and then there's one right next to it called Urus, which is the one I was recommended, so we'll check that out. But that's funny that they're right next to each other, although I can't really say anything because my school UNC has 2 that are right next to each other as well. Okay, so the reason I was recommended this one was because one specific room or library within the library apparently looks like it's straight out of Hogwarts, so I found it and let's check it out. And we go from one scenic area to kind of another. Right next to that slope, you have the arts quad. And yeah, I mean, it is what it says it is. It's just a massive quad. I've seen quite a few college quads in the past few years. And this one is definitely one of the bigger ones. And it's pretty standard as they come. I mean, you have like maybe 8 or 9 different academic buildings just surrounding the perimeter. Wouldn't that look nice right now? Yeah. But anyways, this is Feeney Way. And I'm pretty sure it's kind of like the midpoint of campus, and it's like the first proper street that I've actually seen since starting to walk on campus, and I like that. I like when colleges aren't split up by that many like actual roads. There is actually like a good amount of bugs here, I've noticed. It's very random, but yeah. Space Sciences building, that's pretty cool. You rarely see a entire building dedicated to like astronomy or space sciences. But they have one here. Hey, look at that. It's another quad. There's another quad on the northeastern part of campus. This one I think is surrounded by all of like the engineering and technology buildings. But yeah, every time I reference the map to see where I'm going, a new like waterfall, gorge, hiking trail pops up in the recommended to me, and they're all within like 0.5 to 1 mile of here, which is still like insane to me that if you're just bored, you can just say, hey, let me go on a hike, let me jump in the bottom of a waterfall stream real quick. Like that's so cool. And obviously, again, that's just because of the geography. I think I learned when walking around campus that we're in like the Catawba Valley region is what it might be called. But yeah, even in like the schools I've been to in like the North Carolina mountains, you don't really see stuff like that. Like it's all a little bit disconnected. Here, this campus is kind of just like built right on top of all of that. This whole city is. I mean, it's all right, but like nothing to write home about really. It's freaking raining. I have had terrible rain luck with these past few college videos that I've done. But yeah, I would be curious to know if you're like a business or like any non-engineering or science major, if you really come to this side of campus at all, because it is like a solid 15-20 minute walk from where we started, and outside the academic buildings, that library is kind of like the only thing that's really there. So I don't know if there's much reason to go to this side. Okay, y'all, I take back what I said. Whale Hall here, home of Cornell BME, is definitely the craziest, weirdest, somewhat modernish looking building on campus. This looks like my hell. Personally, as someone that never considered nor wanted to do engineering as a major. I also just realized that I've not seen like any other dorms or residence halls other than those at the very bottom of the hill that I showed y'all, which is really interesting. I'm not tripping, right? Like, it is raining right now, but that's a full pile of snow in the second week of August. What is going on here? It's definitely snow, I think, unless I'm gonna touch it. That is snow. All right, where did that come from? All right, it is still raining, but one more stop, of course, I had to make on the main part of campus is Sholkop. I don't know how to pronounce it, but this is the name of the stadium, and we are here, right on the 50-yard line. Shout out to Cornell for leaving the stadium wide open. Honestly, like everything on campus has been left completely open, which I appreciate. Home of Big Red football, who went a staggering 3-7 and finished second to last in the Ivy League last year. But hey, it's also home to Cornell men's and women's lacrosse, which are far more successful programs. Does this say Cornell won the National Football Championship in 1915? I apologize. I need to respect Cornell, I guess. Also, this is like one of the most bizarre stadiums I've been to because, you know, it looks relatively normal up there. Got a whole bunch of bleacher stands. But then, on every other side of the stadium, there's nothing. There's no seating. It is literally only this fourth of the stadium that gets actual seats, which is kind of funny. And honestly, I'm sure the only time that this area actually gets full is graduation and not actual football games. Okay, that's enough shots at Cornell football. Okay, 70 rows later, and we have made it to the top of Sholkop Field. I think I said it right that time. I looked at the capacity, and it is about 27,000, which is obviously all concentrated on this one side, but I think overall, that might be the lowest of the Ivy League schools. Brown might be a little lower. Honestly, like, I don't mind not having another side because from here you can see the entire view of the valley and everything right behind the stadium, which is really neat. And oh god, I don't even want to think about what going to a game here in December would be like with the cold, but right now I feel like it'd be pretty nice. Y'all don't understand how much of a workout these campus videos are, especially if I do multiple in one day. It's also definitely worth noting, like, this football field is just one part of this whole corner of campus, which consists of all of the athletics facilities. You got your soccer fields, basketball arena, ice hockey rink, all in this one area, and I'm a fan of when colleges do that. And again, shout out to my friend Anna, who is on the women's basketball team. This building is apparently pretty brand new, sponsored by Bill and Melinda Gates, and is the home of CIS, Computer Information Systems, here at Cornell. So this might be the nicest building on campus, actually. It's actually just called Gates Hall. And just from that first building right there, I can tell you that is probably true. Now, the city of Ithaca, New York itself is quite nice. It's sort of separated from campus. I mean, you can walk between them in like 25 to 30 minutes, but it is down that big hill that I told you earlier. But it's only like a 4 or 5 minute drive, which I think most students at Cornell eventually get cars anyway. And obviously for a downtown, it is relatively small, but most of it is your pretty typical streets with restaurants, shops, bars, and stuff on the side. But there is one unique thing that stands out from other similar sized downtowns that I've noticed here in Ithaca, and I'm standing on it. Basically, this whole street that is right in between the two main downtown streets, they have fully blocked off the cars. It's all brick, it's only walkable, and it stretches down for a good like 4 blocks that way, 1 block that way. I really dig that. Obviously you do see stuff like this in bigger downtowns, but for a lot of smaller sized downtowns, it's kind of rare to see a fully walkable street. The only one that kind of comes to mind is when I was in Boulder, Colorado a couple months ago.
Oh, we did?
If you want to, say hi real quick. People here are nice. People here are relatively nice compared to the New York stereotype. But yeah, really like that. Downtown overall, good small town vibe. I got in last night. It was about 8:30 p.m. I managed to grab a quick dinner at Bickering Twins, which was really good. I recommend that. The tacos were great. And like right now, you do see a decent amount of people walking around. It's nothing crazy, but it is 11 a.m. on a Friday, so I'm not expecting that many people to be around. And last night when I was walking around a little bit, it was a Thursday at 9 p.m. And again, there weren't that many people walking around. I could tell it was gonna get a little bit more active as the night went on, specifically around the bars. But yeah, I noticed most of the restaurants here closed around 9, and then I assume after that it becomes kind of dead on weekdays. But still, just to have this whole area close by campus, especially in a location where you're not really near anything that resembles a big city. I mean, you got like Syracuse an hour away, but that's about it. I think something like this helps break up the monotony of just staying on campus a lot. So, shout out Ithaca, New York. And that is the exact moment my mic crapped out and stopped working, which is super annoying. But basically, this is just me discovering that there's a whole area across the lake north of campus that houses what seems to be the vast majority of residence halls at Cornell. Some that looked okay, some that actually looked really modern, and they're all kind of in this whole village area that also had another student center kind of building in the middle and a rec center. So that definitely answered my question as to where most of these students actually live when they live on campus. And then I'm sure as students become upperclassmen, they move off of campus to downtown Ithaca, or another area just south of campus called College Town, which is where my friend's house was. Alright, so overall verdict on Cornell. At the end of my other Ivy video, I predicted that it would slot in with the others at 4th. And honestly, I think it was dead accurate. I would put it below Harvard, Princeton, and Penn, and above the other Ivies. I think the highlight of Cornell for me was its location, Ithaca. Again, I really like the vibe of the actual city and downtown, and that combined with just the overall nature of the area, I was a huge fan of. But on that note, I don't think their campus, when you just take it away from the surroundings, is really anything to write home about. There's not really an aesthetic. None of the buildings really stood out to me, and compared to most schools that I visited, it is probably straight down the middle when it comes to the campus itself. It's hard to tell because it's summer right now and there weren't many students around, but I would guess the culture is pretty work intensive and not the most social, but I could be wrong on that. And yeah, I finally made it out there. Dartmouth, it's gonna happen eventually. When, I have no idea. I've heard really good things about the nature surrounding that as well. So that was Cornell. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace out.